Imagine a world where 1.1 billion people could potentially suffer from hearing loss. Sounds alarming, right? What if we told you that we're living in that world right now? With earphones becoming a ubiquitous accessory, the risk of ear damage is a grim reality we need to confront. Understanding this hidden danger is crucial, as it's not just about the music, it's about your health. Stay with us as we delve into the secrets of how your beloved earphones could be harming your ears. To understand how earphones could damage your ears, you first need to comprehend how sound transmits. Imagine the sound as a wave. When you're listening to your favorite song through earphones, these sound waves travel from the earphone speaker, down the ear canal, and hit your eardrum. This causes the eardrum to vibrate, and these vibrations are picked up by the tiny bones in your middle ear, which amplify them and send them on to the inner ear. Here, the waves are transformed into electrical signals that your brain interprets as sound. This is how you get to enjoy every beat and lyric. Now let's talk about decibel levels. Decibel levels measure the intensity of sound. The softest sound that most people can hear is at 0 decibels. Normal conversation usually hovers around 60 decibels, and city traffic or a vacuum cleaner can hit around 70 to 80 decibels. Earphones, especially those snugly fit in-ear types, can produce sound levels that exceed 120 decibels, which is similar to the volume of a live rock concert. And this sound is being directed straight into your ear canal, with very little room for it to dissipate. To put that into perspective, according to the World Health Organization, exposure to noise levels above 85 decibels for 8 hours or more can potentially cause significant hearing damage. And the risk increases as the sound gets louder. For example, at 100 decibels, your ears can tolerate it for just 15 minutes before potential damage can occur. So, when you crank up the volume on your earphones, you're essentially amplifying the sound waves that hit your eardrum. These amplified waves make your eardrum vibrate more intensely, which could potentially lead to damage over time. Plus, the longer you expose your ears to these high decibel levels, the more you're straining the delicate structures in your ear. So, it's clear that the louder the sound and the longer you listen, the greater the chance of damaging your hearing. Now you might be wondering, how could listening to my favorite songs for a few hours harm me? Well, here's the thing. Our ears are not designed for the constant barrage of sound that comes from prolonged earphone use. Imagine your ears as a city under siege. Each booming bass, every high note is like a cannonball striking the walls. Over time, these walls, or in this case your delicate ear structures, begin to crumble under the relentless assault. This is not a hypothetical scenario. The World Health Organization reports that over 1 billion young people worldwide could be at risk of hearing loss due to unsafe listening habits. What's more, the damage from noise exposure is often gradual. You might not notice the impact until it's too late. It's like slowly turning up the volume on your life until one day, the silence is deafening. Remember, your ears never get a break if your earphones are always in. Let's take a journey into the inner ear, where the magic of hearing happens. This intricate structure, smaller than a pea, is a marvel of nature's engineering. Inside, there are 2 key components at play. First, the hair cells, delicate sensory cells that convert the sound vibrations into electrical signals. Second, the auditory nerves, which carry these signals to the brain. But what happens when we crank up the volume? Well, imagine a massive wave crashing onto a beach. The force of high decibel sounds can be similarly destructive, bombarding these delicate hair cells and auditory nerves. Over time, this onslaught can cause irreversible damage, leading to diminished hearing, or even permanent hearing loss. And remember, once these hair cells are damaged, they don't grow back. Like a once lush forest reduced to a barren wasteland, your inner ear can suffer a similar fate. So, blasting music into your ears can have serious consequences. Have you ever heard of noise-induced hearing loss, or NHL? This is a type of hearing loss that's caused by exposure to loud sounds over a long period of time, or a one-time exposure to an extremely loud sound. NIHL is a serious issue, and it's more common than you might think. When we talk about NIHL, we're referring to damage to the tiny hair cells in our inner ears. These cells help us detect sound waves and are crucial to our ability to hear, but they're also incredibly delicate. Loud sounds, like those from earphones at high volumes, can cause these cells to bend or break. Once damaged, these cells cannot regenerate, leading to permanent hearing loss. The statistics are startling. According to the World Health Organization, over 1 billion young people worldwide are at risk of developing NIHL due to unsafe listening practices, such as using earphones at high volumes for extended periods. In the United States alone, The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimate that 16% of teens have reported some degree of hearing loss that could have been caused by loud noise. It's a sobering reality, but it's one we can change with some simple steps. Aside from hearing loss, earphones can also lead to other health issues. One of these is ear infections. A perfect breeding ground for bacteria, earphones are often shared among friends, tucked away in pockets or left on desks, collecting dust and germs. When plugged into your ears for prolonged periods, these germs can easily transfer, potentially causing infections. Moreover, prolonged earphone use can lead to excessive earwax buildup. This not only affects sound quality, but also creates a moist environment where microbes thrive, increasing the risk of ear infections. Now, how do we combat this? The answer lies in good ear hygiene. Regularly clean your earphones with a soft, dry cloth and a bit of rubbing alcohol. Avoid sharing them whenever possible. Also, remember to keep your ears clean and dry. If you notice an excess of earwax, consider an over-the-counter earwax removal kit or consult a healthcare professional. Clean earphones are not just about sound quality, it's about your health. Now that you understand the risks, how can you protect your ears and still enjoy your music? The answer lies in safe listening practices. Let's kick things off with a simple rule of thumb, the 60-60 rule. This means listening to your music or podcasts at no more than 60% of your device's maximum volume for no longer than 60 minutes at a stretch. Following this rule can significantly reduce the risk of noise-induced hearing loss. Next up, let's talk about the importance of taking breaks. Just like any other part of your body, your ears also need rest. Make sure to take regular breaks from your earphones, preferably every hour. This helps your ears recover from the constant exposure to sound. Another crucial aspect of safe listening is the type of earphones you use. Opt for noise-canceling earphones if possible. These earphones reduce the need to crank up the volume to drown out background noise, thus protecting your ears from potential damage. While we're on the topic of earphone types, it's worth mentioning that over-the-ear headphones are generally safer than in-ear earphones. The reason? They are further away from your eardrums, reducing the intensity of the sound reaching your inner ear. Now let's not forget about the importance of regular hearing checks. It's easy to overlook this, but regular hearing tests can identify any early signs of hearing loss. The sooner you catch it, the better your chances of preventing further damage. And lastly, remember to keep your earphones clean. Hygiene is key in preventing ear infections, which can also contribute to hearing loss. So there you have it, a few simple yet effective ways to enjoy your music without putting your hearing at risk. Remember, it's not about giving up on what you love. It's about finding a balance and making small changes that can have a big impact on your hearing health. Remember, prevention is always better than cure. We've covered a lot of ground today. Let's quickly revisit the key points. We've learned that earphones transmit sound directly into our ears, and that excessive decibel levels can be harmful. Prolonged exposure to these loud sounds can lead to significant hearing loss. The delicate structures of our inner ears, such as the hair cells and auditory nerves, can be damaged by high volume levels. We also discovered that noise-induced hearing loss is a real threat, especially with the prevalent use of earphones. Not to forget, we talked about the potential for ear infections due to prolonged earphone use and the importance of maintaining ear hygiene. We wrapped up with some safe listening practices like moderating volume levels and taking breaks during usage. These tips can help us reduce the risk of ear damage. So, the next time you plug in your earphones, remember to listen responsibly. Your ears will thank you.